Welcome to Tobias Time. I am your host. Today we are going to be talking about the evil and Scuf controllers.
Hi everybody, welcome to Tobias Time. I'm Tobias's father, Mitchell. Tobias is a 6-year-old boy who has a heavy interest in esports, paintballing, and motocross. Tonight we're going to talk about the Scuf versus the evil controller. If everyone can be nice in their comments below as he gets his YouTube channel started, and just show him signs of encouragement.
Yes, because some of you might have a YouTube channel, and we're going to be hopping into campaign, but I know I'm not allowed, but this is the only mode we're allowed to play right now, because for some reason we can't hop on internet. It isn't working for me or my dad sometimes.
No, we'll get the internet fixed in 2 minutes. That's not a problem at all.
Like, I can't even get on it.
No, we'll figure it out. It'll take 2 seconds. Okay, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, let's get into the review. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get Tobias to hold the 2 different controllers, okay? So show me and everyone else the way that you hold this controller.
I would probably hold it like this, but sometimes when I'm not trying to press those buttons, I hold it like this.
Okay, so now see how that's a problem? We're going to have to zoom in here after, but the way you're kind of holding that to not touch the buttons, it makes it very difficult, right? Now, if you put your fingers on those buttons, why don't you do that?
I would probably hold it like this when I would.
Yeah, but why don't you put your fingers on those buttons?
Because I might try and jump then I might look up on accident.
Yeah, so you accidentally press them, right?
Yeah.
Now, another thing that I notice is if I'm pressing this button here, say to jump, or this button here to crouch, when I'm using my joysticks, it's kind of like an unnatural amount of pressure that I'm applying, right? It kind of throws me sideways like this when I'm doing that. Whereas with the Scuf controller, we're not sponsored by any of these companies or anything. This is just our opinion. You kind of have more of a firm grip on the controller with these fingers, and then you're only using these fingers, not these fingers, to engage. So by having that firm grip, you're kind of having the ability, let me get out of this, to just really press these buttons while maintaining your joystick control, right? Now let me see you hold this one, eh?
So this one's a lot, not a lot big for my hands, but a little, because I'm only 6, and look how big my hands are. This controller's a lot bigger.
Yeah, but you prefer this controller.
Yeah, because we have a problem with that one, kind of.
Yeah, the mod board is doing something weird in that controller, so we thought we would get the master mod board to mess around with the rapid fire and stuff,
yeah,
right?
Because
That would have been fun.
Yeah, we have a auto fire where we have a pistol, and then if we shoot it, it will shoot 3 times when we're supposed to shoot it once. But
yeah, it's like the rapid fire, right? But for some reason it was only shooting part of the time, right?
Yeah, and these are actually kind of like hacking controllers, but not like hacking.
It's more like an auto key on your computer or something. Everyone that plays PC, more or less, they use auto keys of some sort. It's just giving you a slight advantage.
Exactly.
Okay, now, really wasn't an advantage because it wasn't actually working.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't working, though. So you'd go to shoot and it wouldn't shoot. That's not an advantage. That's a disadvantage.
Because sometimes it just does whatever it wants to do.
Wants to does? It's funny. Okay, no, you're right, though. It was just like shooting. It was pulling the R2 trigger, just kind of however it felt like it, right? Okay, another big question with buying a Pro controller was, should I get tactical trigger stops that kind of just come to a dead stop, or should I get the tactical trigger system that Scuf offers? Now, Scuf also offers a tactical button, right?
Yeah.
This is the trigger system, trigger lock system. Now, the reason I prefer the swing of this trigger lock system is you can initiate it right there. We'll do a close-up of this and maybe a side-by-side comparison of the two. But when this controller shoots, it engages instantaneously. The reason I prefer that, and you prefer it too, right?
Yeah.
Is it's smoother.
Yeah.
Right? So when you click, it kind of like throws your hand off. You're kind of like putting unnecessary pressure on the controller, right? Yeah, you were the one that told me. Okay, so if anyone's seen one of these, you know you can set this up so that your two fingers roll and you have the ability to kind of feather that mechanism in there, right? The same as you can on this controller with the Scuf. You can kind of set it up so in-game you're feathering right there. It's called walking the dog, right? So when you're playing paintball or when you're trying to shoot someone in the game, you want to walk the dog, right? And then you can shoot them quicker. So having the two-finger control system that comes with the Scuf and the ability to feather that mechanism, it makes it quicker.
Yeah.
Right? Even for you.
Like, it makes it a lot quicker, and we also have it on a PlayStation Pro, kind of.
Yeah, so that's another thing, right? Is having the ability to fire that mechanism as quick as you can with a higher frame rate like the PlayStation Pro.
Yeah.
You don't really need a better TV, anything above 60 hertz. From what I understand, it's really going to give you an advantage, but that's something for another time. Okay, what we're going to actually do is we are going to do the side-by-side comparison with the two trigger pulls. So we'll show some gameplay of that now.
Yeah.
Almost out. Almost out.
Okay, welcome back.
Okay, now on to some of the joystick features of the two controllers. With the Evil controller, it has evil sticks. Now they can kind of get debris and dirt and stuff in there where they're open. I guess this could provide some kind of cooling to the circuit board or something like that. It may be an advantage. But I don't really like the concept of it being open. One thing to keep in mind is most of these parts are manufactured in the same location. No matter who manufactures the controller, that joystick module in there is made in the same place. Now some of them offer a pro tension. What they do is they open that up and they replace the spring inside of that joystick module with a 200-gram spring or 150-gram spring over the 80-gram spring. With the Evil controller, you can see that I've already started to get some markings here. Now, this is only from you playing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're 6.
And you also can hear this little click when you're pressing these buttons. If you have this controller, like you can hear a little click from the buttons, kind of.
It's true. I mean, those are set up to be with the tactical click.
Yeah.
But you don't like it because you feel like it throws you off, right?
Yeah, and I might think like it's a guy in front of me.
No. Okay, so something I never understood was the joystick ring on the Scuf controller. Up until now, really. Let me see if I can get this off of here. Come on. So this ring is actually going to protect your controller from getting hit from the joystick, right? So by having this on there, you can replace the ring, it's basically like a protective cover for the joystick, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going to change these out, having the ability to kind of like quick swap them and just pull these right out, I don't know if I find that an advantage. I mean, how quickly do you need to do this? Are you going to do it mid-game where you're just like, oh, I need a longer joystick. Let's pull this out and put a new one in. Probably not. So switching between games, you have enough time to get this and swap it out. Now, the thing is, this can pull out and you might lose this. I would rather lose this than lose this, right?
Yeah, because the controller was basically almost all of the money. That wasn't part of the money. Well, it might have been a little bit of the money, but it wasn't that much.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, Scuf will probably send you one of these if you really told them, like, I just need the thing. Send me a new key. I don't know. A couple of bucks, right? So this isn't a big deal. If you lost part of your controller, though, you wouldn't be able to play, right? One of the issues we're having with this controller is it seems to just be firing whenever it kind of chooses to. So if we press clear all here, we hold sideways on circle, that should clear all of the settings in the board, right? Now, if we go to the profiles, and we go to rapid fire, it says right here, rapid fire, hold left, pull R2. Now you can see that should be giving me rapid fire, right? Now, you can see in the gameplay, once I've set rapid fire, the controller is just firing as much as it wants whenever it wants. There doesn't really seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. See, now it's stopped. It was just doing whatever it wanted to and pulling the knife as many times as it could just a second ago, and now it's not doing that. Now it is doing it. I'm not touching it. There's my hands. So there seems to be some kind of an issue within the board here when you're using the master mod, that anytime I put on any of these settings, that seems to be the effect that I am getting. See? None of these buttons are being held down with like a tape or anything. I don't know, there's me pulling the triggers. So see, now it's stopped. And so I'm not really sure what the issue is there, but we've spoken to Evil and they don't seem to know either. Okay, that seems to be enough of that. We'll get on with the rest of it.
And we're back.
Okay, so in closing, one thing that I would really like to mention is all of these controllers that are made by a third-party company are made with the same internal parts, right? They all use the same joysticks. I might have mentioned this earlier in the video too. But the Evil and other brands that we won't really mention, they all use something called a TrueFire Reflex V5 board. That allows you to have the mods and the 4 extra buttons, right? We're going to build one out of the red controller.
Yeah.
Right? Now, TrueFire has come out with a version 3 of that board, as well as a version 5.2. Those two boards, apparently they have static pull down for the no recoil, which this controller does not, unfortunately. But all of them are made simply by just adding tactical buttons to that board. Now, you can buy 6mm tactical buttons, 100 of them, for about $1. And then you can throw a skin onto a normal board, and essentially you're on par with one of these modded controllers. The Scuf, on the other hand, is kind of made out of a proprietary board that uses an EMR remapping system in it. It also has had quite a bit of time and thought go into the design of things like the joysticks, the ability to swing the triggers, and just the placement and ergonomics of the overall design are pretty nice.
Thanks for watching Tobias Time, everyone. Let us know what you want to see next.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's good.
I was playing this game, but then I had the AX50, and I was flying, and then getting a gunfight, and then I jumped, and I hit a guy without having my scope out.
You no scoped him?
Yeah.
Oh, I seen that
No, you didn't.
today when you no scoped the guy.
Are you cutting yourself? Okay, now we're back.
No, say 3, 2, 1, and then we'll both say it together.
1, 2, 3. Now we're back.